What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson. Well, welcome Washington Nation and welcome Cowboys Nation. It is Wednesday, the day, but it's Thanksgiving Eve, and we got what used to be football's biggest rivalry coming up tomorrow. Washington versus Dallas. For us, it's Dallas week. For them, it's just another week versus an inferior opponent. So to preview the entire matchup, look at every angle of the Washington versus Dallas game tomorrow. I got my boy, my Cowboys correspondent out of the DMV himself, Mr. DMV Fanatic. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, bro, I am good, man. I mean, outside of the rain that's been going on around here and all of the, I'm saying, the weather done broke a little bit, but outside of that, man, I'm Gucci, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Your team is 7-3, 10 weeks. Y'all have played a game less than us, and we've allowed double the amount of points y'all have allowed. Y'all have scored more points than us by about 80. I'm gonna try to be as positive as possible, but I'm not gonna be delusional today. 10 weeks into the season, how would you grade Dallas compared to what you usually feel like around this point of the season?
I think that we're probably about a B minus right now. We're about where we normally are. The only difference is I think we would have split one of the big games between, Philadelphia or San Fran. I think we would have won at least one of those by now. But outside of that, we've been taking care of business. We've been taking care of business against most of the guys we were supposed to beat, besides the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. Yeah, the Arizona. How did y'all lose that game? Like, what the hell happened that week? Y'all just took the week off. Y'all slept on the opponent.
I think in a way, yeah, I believe that because we had guys that we sat on the offensive line that we could have played, but we sat three offensive starters on the offensive line that week, and I think that we thought we could coast by. Plus, that's the same week that we lost Trayvon Diggs too, and we lost him late in the week. I don't think we changed the game plan very much, and I think we went into that game a little cocky on the defensive side of the ball.
So out of your 7 wins, 7 wins thus far, I gotta bring some spice, because I got enough heat going towards my team right now. I gotta bring some spice. Dallas is annually called a fraud, and people
Hmm.
question the validity of Dallas. What win would you stand on right now based on the wins that y'all have? Because I'm looking at your schedule. Y'all have beat the Panthers, y'all have beat the Rams, y'all beat a lot. Y'all haven't beat a team over 500 yet. What win would you is the Jets y'all most impressive victory so far?
I would say the Rams because when we beat the Rams at that time, that was supposed to be a game where it was a trap game. A lot of people thought the Rams, especially the Eagle haters, they thought that the Rams, because they played them tough, they played San Fran tough. You know, I thought that not that it was a trap game, but I knew that it was an important game. So I would definitely say the Rams.
Oh yeah. So the Rams are the best team. They're a sneaky team. They pop in and out. When Stafford's healthy, they look capable of pulling out a game versus virtually anybody. When you have a coach like Sean McVay, a veteran Super Bowl winning quarterback, you always have a chance. That guy just schemes anybody open. I'm pretty sure he could scheme me and you open on a route.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Well,
But let's talk about your losses, though. We're not gonna talk about the Cardinals one because you just mentioned that one. It seems like when y'all are punching in the same weight class, I know you're a boxing guy. When y'all are punching in your same weight class, the 49ers and the Eagles, it don't look the same as when y'all are playing garbage, man. What's going on when y'all play teams that y'all will be seeing in January when them off start?
well, what I will say about the San Fran game is I think that they whooped our ass. They straight up whooped our ass for some odd reason. We played them a little bit different, and we just can't get it together when it comes to them. Philadelphia, though, I I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that we didn't show up for that game. I would say that Philadelphia got lucky, like they have been. They got lucky last night. I mean, they got lucky
Monday.
on Monday. And what is luck, right? Luck is when opportunity meets preparation, right?
Yep.
But damn it if they ain't the best falling on fumble team that I've ever seen in my life, bro.
And I know we're
Damn
the
if they ain't.
we're the worst at recovering fumbles, catching picks, whatever Howie Roseman and the Eagles did to get on the good graces of the football gods, I need some of that sprinkled onto my franchise in 2024 when we hit the reset button on this thing right now. The line has moved 3 times. It's went from 10.5 to 11 to 12.5. Y'all are 14-point favorites tomorrow versus Washington. 2 touchdown lead. I believe y'all
I
may
don't like it. I
y'all
don't
may be
like
the
it, bro.
biggest overdog this week. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it, bro, because every time we're a overdog like that, then we're pretty much setting ourselves up for a bad performance. I want to say that we were something like that for the Arizona Cardinals, and we went out there and laid that egg like that. But the only thing that I like about that is that if Sam Howell hadn't beat us last year in Week 18 and the way that it looked, I think Dallas could go into this game sleepy. I think that they're gonna come into this game and they're gonna try and take care of business.
As a Dallas fan, y'all host Thanksgiving every year. Do you like that shit? Because I get very mixed reviews when I ask Dallas fans about playing on Thanksgiving. A lot of them are like, no, I hate it. A lot of them are like, oh, we actually get hoed at home by the refs on Thanksgiving. Do you like playing on Thanksgiving?
Nah, I hate it. I hate it. Just because I'm one of those guys that like I just now started being able to eat during games, but like you know how it is, bro. We black, bro. So Thanksgiving start late as hell. Like they tell you it
Yes.
start they tell you it's supposed to start at a certain time and they get pushed back, and then the Dallas game is already at 4 o'clock. So it's like, do I eat this plate? Do I not? Like I gotta eat during this damn game. And then on top of that, for the most part, we stink on Thanksgiving.
As
I,
of
but,
lately.
yeah, besides last year when it was the sorry ass Giants, we normally stink on Thanksgiving. So I normally hate it.
What are some of your best moments? What are some of your famous? What are your most favorite cherished moments from Dallas playing on Thanksgiving?
I think we played Dan Marino on Thanksgiving one time and he threw 5 picks. That's probably one of my most cherished moments. I remember the Patrick Ramsey game where we pretty much whooped y'all ass. Um,
Oh man,
yeah,
Patrick Ramsey,
Patrick
man.
Ramsey. Yeah. And outside of that, man, Thanksgiving hasn't been very very kind to the Cowboys, man. Uh, hasn't been very very kind.
Oh, yeah, I mean, last time we played y'all on Thanksgiving, that was the COVID year where Dak was hurt. I believe we hurt Andy Dalton in that game. We won 41-16. It was the beginning of the Ron Rivera era. It was when we still had optimism. We still believed in Ron's plan. Antonio Gibson actually had vision. We pulled out the annexation of Puerto Rico, little Giants play. We were in our bag. It was one of the few times we were in our bag while Ron was the coach here. It feels like that was the last blowout because we don't blow teams out at all. At this point, if we win by more than 7, I would consider it a blowout. But when I think about Thanksgiving, 2012 will forever be etched in my brain. The RG3 takes over Arlington, Texas game. He goes back to Texas. He's a
Oh
Texas boy.
man.
Lit that thing up for 4 touchdowns. In the second quarter, we went berserk in that game after being down to start the game. That was a beautiful Thanksgiving, man. That was the most insufferable and obnoxious I felt ever as a Washington fan. And we were humbled almost immediately as that season came to a close.
I hated that so much, man, because in typical Romo fashion, he made it a damn game,
Yep.
and we made it a game, and then you know what I'm saying it was just it was just too much to overcome. That was the same day that D'Angelo Hall smacked Dez up in front of
In the
everybody
face.
too.
Yep.
Yep, and then Dez looked around because I know he wanted to do something, but on top of like we took the L and then Dez got smacked up. So yeah, nah, that was definitely not a good one for me.
I remember D Hall pissed me off because on the y'all did an onside kick at the end of the game, and instead of housing it, because he caught it cleanly, and instead of taking it to the crib, he slid at the one. And I remember Kyle Shanahan being so fucking mad, like, bro, those count for stats, bro. You got to score that touchdown. We want to power the score up a little more than it already looked. He slid at the one, but that was my pretty much my only great fond memory. We had a very nasty game versus the Giants on Thanksgiving because, they added that third irrelevant game on Thanksgiving. It's always
Yeah,
the Lions early, y'all midday, and now there's some random third game on Thanksgiving. We had Kirk and them boys eating the turduckens after the game. It was nasty. It was raining. It was cold. Nobody was scoring. Ugly ass game. The Giants were playing with a backup. That shit was filthy. But three things, since tomorrow is the day to be grateful for something. What are three things about your Dallas Cowboys that you are thankful for right now as we sit here in the end of November?
I'm thankful for Deron Bland stepping up and
All
Trayvon. And yeah, for sure. I knew he would. I actually did a video on that saying we wouldn't really miss a beat. Knowing the type of player that Deron Bland is, I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for Marquise Bell stepping in because our linebacker situation has been murky. Shout out to the HBCUs because they don't get enough love.
no
My guy
sir.
from FAMU came in and he's been playing lights out for us at the backer position. And I'm thankful that Micah Parsons just had to touch up on little boys in the locker room so that he could fall to us. Thank you, football gods.
Leon Lett. Leon Lett has some of the funniest football moments in the history of football, bro.
Oh
Some
yeah. Oh my God, bro. Fee 5 4 fum looking ass.
yeah, that boy was wilding on Thanksgiving. If I had to be three, I'm gonna try to be. I'm gonna try to pick three things I'm grateful for about Washington. Number one, we do have new ownership. Don't let this season, don't let these rants, don't let this fury that we have for how these games humble us distract you from the fact that we did get Daniel Snyder the hell up out of our organization forever. We are under new management, we are under new ownership, and they're going to finally put their real stamp on building this team going forward early 2024. This is a two-parter for my second one. Sam Howell and Brian Robinson, I'll put them together as one, make them a combination. They are about all we have right now. They are the only things we got going for us. B-Rob has actually looked like a three-down complete running back for us. He don't get carries because EB don't run the goddamn ball. But when he do get carries, he's effective. He comes downhill hard. He's slimmed up, so he's more decisive and he's quicker with his first step. And he's catching, but he has 3 receiving touchdowns this year. He has more receiving touchdowns than our number one receiver. You said Deron Bland has 4 pick sixes this year. That's more receiving touchdown. He would lead Washington in receiving touchdowns right now. Dotson has 4. Terry has 2. And none of these dudes feel like they're on pace for 1,000 yards. Third thing I'm grateful for is KJ Henry, our rookie 5th rounder edge out of Clemson. And I only pick him because he's the first inkling of optimism we can take from our draft class all year. Our rookie Emmanuel Forbes, 1st round pick, he's not playing tomorrow versus y'all. I don't know why that affected the line because we're probably better off not putting him out there versus CD because CD was probably going to get in that ass just like AJ Brown and company did a couple times this year already. But KJ Henry had a sack and a half last week. He had a sack called back from the most egregious roughing the passer versus the Patriots. So he would be at 2.5 sacks right now, which would have him around the pace of the 2 guys that we traded out of here because we know them boys don't get 10 sacks in a season. He'd be right on pace to produce on the clip as the U Street boys, Montez Sweat and Chase Young. So I am grateful for you, KJ Henry. You looked explosive. I don't know if it was the black uniform, but you look bendy and explosive off the edge on Sunday. So KJ Henry, Hal Robinson duo, and Josh Harris are the 3 things I'm grateful for about Washington through this part of the season that we're at right now. We're sitting at 4-7, 11 weeks into the season. It feels like deja vu. It feels like the same story over and over. How do you feel this game's going to play out? What matchups are you looking for specifically in this game?
The matchups that I'm looking for specifically in this game is I want to see Sam Howell versus our pass rush. I think that I've heard you say it multiple times. I told you this multiple times before the season even started. Sam Howell, when things are clean and he can get to his first read, you know what I'm saying, he's immaculate at the quarterback position. But when he holds on to the ball a little bit too long, This isn't the pass rush that you want to do that against. So I want to see if Sam can really get into his reads this week. If EB can, push some easy buttons. That's another matchup as well. I want to see EB versus Dan Quinn. I want to see, because I do believe that EB is still one of the better offensive coordinators in the league, and I want to see if there are things he can do to exploit what Dan does, because whatever he uses, I think teams will try and use it moving forward if there is anything for him to exploit. Um, I'm interested in seeing. Outside of that, I don't know if there is many other matchups that I'm really intrigued by other than those that I just named.
I'll tell you the matchup that I'm going to lose sleep over tonight. If you guys get Benjamin St. Juice on an island with, let's say, Brandon Cooks, all you got to do is send him vertically. Speed versus Benjamin St. Juice. He is not a burner at all. If you put a speed guy on him, he's going to get past him quick and in a hurry, and that's going to be a problem. And he's grabby. He's probably going to get 2 or 3 either PIs or illegal contacts called on him because he's a grab. He's a you get past him, I got to grab you type guy. That scares me. Next thing that scares me, we get Cody Barton back tomorrow, our starting Mike Backer. Usually it's good news when you hear something like, we're getting our starting Mike Backer tomorrow. Starting Backer didn't look good at all when he played for us this year. He looked like a trash can for the majority of the weeks. He had like one good game versus Atlanta. He's back. Play. If you have Jake Ferguson on your fantasy team, start him versus Washington. We've never guarded a Dallas tight end since my existence in life. Jason Witten is going to go to the Hall of Fame because of us. Because that we ain't never covered that. Boy ain't got no speed, but his always open, especially against Washington. That matchup scares the hell out of me. But I seen Chuba Hubbard and them when they did try to get a run game going. They were about 5 yards a carry. They were gashing y'all. Brian Robinson is the X factor. Will EB finally give us a nice balance helping of pass and run? Brian Robinson needs to get 20 plus touches tomorrow. I think Brian Robinson is our X factor. Who is y'all's X? I know y'all running back is due for a 100-yard game. I don't know when the last time Pollard went for one, but when you're ailing and when you haven't done something in a long time, Washington is that team you do it against. Talk to me about y'all run game and talk to me about Brian Robinson.
Okay, so our run game. So it looks like Rico Dowdell is questionable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Rico is questionable. And that's big for y'all because I think having Rico there has lit a fire under Tony Pollard for about 1.5 games. I say 1.5 because against the Giants, he wasn't running hard in the first half. Then Rico got a couple touches. Then all of a sudden, Tony started waking up and running the ball hard. We're starting to really, our offensive line starting to gel. So we have Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and Steele. So Steele has been the weak link for us, but we hadn't had those 5 play together very, very long. So in the times that they were struggling, they were only 2-3 games that they had played together in these 2 years. Now they're starting to gel. The left side of the line is really starting to dominate in the run game on toss cracks and all that type of stuff. Tyler Smith is playing at an all-pro level right now. So that might be something we want to look at too, because you guys do still have a good interior on the defensive line.
We do.
And we drafted Tyler Smith to kind of combat that between you and the Eagles. So interested to see. We have never seen Tyler Smith play up against those guys at the guard position. So we'll see that tomorrow. So that's something to look forward to there to see how, both sides go at it. But our run game is starting to come together a little bit, mainly because of Rico. But if Rico can't play, I want to see how Tony can handle the load by himself.
Hey, trust me, if we to get right, boys, man, it's time. He's due. Just like Terry's due for his first 100-yard game of the season.
He's probably happy because he's like, damn, thank you. No Trayvon.
No Trayvon. No. And unfortunately, Diggs has put him in a seatbelt the last couple of years. And there's been way too many times as of late that Terry be getting locked up. And I think it's a combination of scheme and he's just not getting the separation he needs to this year. And I could definitely relate to offensive line reshuffling. We were on pace to give up 100 sacks before we benched our starting center, Nick Gates, put in Tyler Larson, replaced Sadiq Charles for injury with Chris Paul, who played with Tyler Smith in college, So, like, we switched up the line and the sacks have decreased. They still come and go at times, but that in combination with EB, how speeding up his clock and EB getting the quick game, the screen game going, it's been able to open up the offense a little bit, but we're still far too inconsistent. I want to see more, especially for those out there who still think EB has a chance to be the head coach. I don't, but we may see him get his chance at interim because the rumblings are getting louder that Ron could get fired on Black Friday, or that a firing is going to happen somewhere. If it ain't Martin Mayhew in the front office, Ron, Jack Del Rio, somebody got to go. EB's not going. He's going to be here till the end of the season. But something has to change at some point for Washington. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, John Ridgeway. I would mention our second round interior guy that we took last year for Darian Mathis, but I haven't seen him do anything. He's just out there in uniform. He's out there modeling the uniform like every other second round pick we had. Y'all let us get your boy Ridgeway. I still appreciate that. He's our third best interior guy. Allen and Payne have not been as dominant as we needed to this year. They did get it going versus the Giants on Sunday. We managed to tie the NFL record for sacks in the first quarter, 5, and get 9 sacks on Tommy DeVito's Jersey Shore looking ass, and still lost to them 31-19. Only Washington, bro. Do you really feel like we're going to give y'all some go tomorrow?
Nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna keep it a buck because ever since the Cardinals game, we ain't playing with teams that ain't supposed to be there. We ain't playing with them. Yeah. So I think that they, especially, like I said, if homeboy ain't have a coming out party in week 18 last year, and we have to hear all offseason about Sam Howell and what he did and revitalizing this rivalry, I think that y'all would be all right because look, things were quiet for Taylor Heineke and those guys and Carson Wentz, but Sam Howell, they coming after young boy. They coming after him.
He instills hope. He's about all the hope we have left for the duration of the 2023 season, man. But let's talk about your quarterback for a second. He told us this offseason he wasn't throwing for 10 picks. Right now, he's good on his word right now. My quarterback has double the amount of interceptions as your quarterback right now. How is Dak Prescott playing in 2023? Is he an MVP candidate in your mind?
So I gotta correct this. I gotta correct the quote. The quote was he wasn't going to throw tipped interceptions, and Clarence Hill took that and
ran with it.
And ran with it like. But you're right. Is Dak an MVP candidate? I think in my mind, this is how I look at it right now. I don't think that there's a clear-cut MVP candidate. Could you put him in the top 5 discussion? Yeah, you could put him in the discussion. But I don't think there's a clear-cut guy right now. And I know the Eagles fans are going to hate me for saying that. But, I mean, Jalen hasn't been playing like an MVP candidate, in my opinion. The only thing that they just been winning games. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't seem like an MVP candidate against KC. He didn't seem like an MVP candidate against us. They fumbled the ball and shit. They tried to give us the game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, they definitely trying to give y'all that shit.
But Dak has been playing pretty good since the 49er game. He's been playing pretty lights out. And I like to see it continue. I think he's having a solid year. I think his grasp of the offense now, him and Mike McCarthy, they're starting to gel together. And Mike McCarthy, we have to remember, he hadn't called plays for a while. So I think that he's starting to get back into the mode a little bit. I think that he was rusty. I don't think that he really trusted some of the guys to do certain things. So now I think he's allowing Dak to control the game at the line of scrimmage, and I think you're starting to see a better offense. But to answer your question, I think you could put him in the discussion, but I don't think he's a clear-cut leader right now.
Who is the MVP of this season right now?
Well, if I had to give it to anybody on the Eagles, it'd be Jason Kelce. Because every time they need something, but that's not how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you got to go. I still think you got to go Mahomes. I still think he's the most valuable player.
And it's a quarterback award as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the game the other night, man, that that was a game winner. He put it right in dude's hands, bro. He put it right in
Oh yeah,
Valdez
he's
Scantling's hand.
sold. He's sold,
He
bro. Oh my
sold on your boy. Yeah, he definitely
yeah,
did.
he hold him. That shit was sad to see. But Mahomes shoulders the most burden of anybody because he's
Yeah,
out
he
here
does.
forced to make lemonade with nothing right now. It's just him and Kelsey and a good defense versus the world. They don't really have much of a run game. Pacheco's all right, but they don't have receivers at all. Like they're dying for. I expect them to make an aggressive trade up in the first round next year to acquire that and throwing some change at somebody like a Mike Evans or somebody in free agency, T. Higgins, somebody. They're gonna have to throw some change around at somebody. But back to the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb already over 1,000 yards, 10 games into the season. He got more yards than my top two receivers combined right now. He on
Damn.
pace for a 1,500-yard season. What's clicked and what's changed for him? And are the concentration drops finally stopped for him?
I think that the game has slowed down for him, so I think that that's why you've seen the drops decrease there. But like I said, I think that Mike McCarthy, because he wasn't getting them involved early on, I think Mike McCarthy's starting to not be as he's shaking off that rust, and now he's getting his guy the ball. If you think about it, you go back in the Green Bay Packer history, he always had a top guy that had this type of production, and he kept them coming in and coming out. So he knows how to get his guys the ball. But I think the emergence of Jake Ferguson has helped him as well in the middle of the field. And they've been able to move him around, motion, and get the matchups they want. And that's where Mike McCarthy differs from Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was more of a it's a system type thing. And Mike McCarthy's all about creating the matchups. And if you got a duck on CD's gonna get the ball. And that's just that is what it is.
So where would you put him now in the division? Number two, right?
I think it's 1A and 1B. I think that AJ is 1A, and I
Ooh,
think CD is 1B. Because I mean, you think about it, he caught him. They're at the same
neck and neck.
number of yards. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So um and remember, I mean, you think about the Eagles too. They're still going through some growing pains on offense as well. And AJ, like Todd said, should be considered for MVP as well. He hasn't had as great of a, you know, I think 2 of the last 3 weeks hasn't been as great for him. But if you think about it, he set NFL records and he kept that offense afloat while their offensive coordinator is making terrible decisions over there.
Oh
And,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
and Jalen's kind of hurt too. You know what I'm saying? So he's
Yeah.
kind of been putting the offense on his back, I think, a little bit, while they're not running swift like they should be.
Oh yeah, they need to feed that boy some more and let Jalen Hurts get them knees right because they're gonna need him for a playoff run. The NFC is going to be very interesting. Y'all, the Eagles, the 49ers, and we have a new entrant. We have the Detroit Lions, the Ben Johnson offensive led Detroit Lions. Man, what do you feel about the Lions and what you've seen from them so far?
Uh, well, here's how I feel about football. I think that it's cool that guys have jumped out the gate, and Dallas, San Francisco, and Philly, they have jumped out like they have been the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit is gonna have to prove it to me after Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the new guys to this
Yep.
equation. We saw Minnesota jump out the gate last year, and we saw how they kind of ended the year.
Mm-hmm.
So Detroit has a lot to prove. They're not used to being in this position. They're used to it being Green Bay, or they're used to it being, I don't know, every 10 years Chicago or Minnesota or something like that. They're used to being the bottom feeders of that division. They're going to have to show us what they are after Thanksgiving. And that division is pretty bad right now, by
Oh,
the
it's
way.
horrible. It's horrible. It's just them and Josh Dobbs led Minnesota Vikings over there. But Detroit, I love watching them play offensively. I'll be having my eyes tuned in for the morning game because their offensive coordinator is going to be the belle of the ball of the hiring cycle next season. Ben Johnson, second year in a row with a top three offense. They're the number one offense in the league. They're balanced. They're top 10 in rushing, top 10 in passing. They can beat you. There's more than one way to skin a cat when you watch Ben Johnson's offense, and he utilizes play action as well as anybody in the game. I'm very curious to see how their season ends as the new guys on the block. I would imagine a team like yourself, you'd be itching to play them in the first round, right?
Well, we're going to get a preview because we definitely played them this year. We played them on the night that Jimmy Johnson's going in the ring.
Ring of Fame. Woo!
Yeah, yeah. So we got Detroit on December 30th. So we gonna see what they talking about. Like I said, next week and on, we're gonna find out what Detroit really is. But here's one thing we do know: Jared Goff has been the quarterback of a team that has been in the Super Bowl. He has been the quarterback of a team that has beaten us in the postseason. You talk about balance. You talked about that play action. He is somebody that was able to do that with Sean McVay. He's one of the best play action quarterbacks that there is out there when it comes to ball fakes and being able to hit that crossing route and stuff like that. They have the weapons to do so. It's just a matter of them taking advantage of their opportunities down the stretch, you know.
Oh yeah, and speaking of play action, y'all get us every time on the play action bootleg with Dak. I'm so sick. It's the same play. Play action, Dak bootleg, tight end in the flats. It works every third down. I feel like I've seen Dak do it against us 100 times. It makes me absolutely sick. I'm not looking forward to seeing that tomorrow, but this is Washington versus Dallas. The names changed, and we haven't held up our side of the bargain of relevancy over the last 25 plus years. Does this week even mean anything to you? You come from the same age demographic as myself. So this rivalry ain't the same as our fathers and like older generations of Dallas versus Washington in the playoffs and stuff like that. And we haven't been good or relevant in a while. Does this week even mean anything to you? Is this even still a rivalry to Dallas fans?
Absolutely, bro. My dad is a Commander fan, so I definitely got to talk trash to my dad. So it's actually funny. My dad's a Commander fan, and my sister diehard Eagle fan. So we all talk mad shit to each
Oh, that's
other
a
all the
wild
time.
house.
Exactly, for sure. So growing up, I mean, knock down, drag out type. My grandfather was a Commander fan. Everybody, matter of fact, everybody for the most part that I know are Commander fans. So it's always gonna be big for me. I grew up here, so a couple of my best friends are Commander fans. So it's definitely huge for me. It still holds that weight for me, especially since neither of us have sniffed anything in the playoffs. We're
Not a
always
damn
at the
thing.
bottom of the barrel, the crabs in the barrel. We got to talk that trash to each other. One of my favorite cousins, Commander fan, talking trash to me right now, talking to me about. I'm talking to him about Sam Howell. He talking to me about y'all love all y'all quarterbacks since Romo. So the banter never stops for me, never.
Hell yeah. And it still hits. And while you're gonna see me negative Nancy it up and be doom and gloom
You
about
want to win this game, bro. I know it means something to you. I know
I'm
it
a,
means
I'm a,
something to you.
even if I predict a blowout tomorrow, I want to win. As soon as every fan, even the fans that say tank, 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 the fandom in you takes over and intrusive thoughts win. As soon as the snaps start, as soon as the ball is kicked off, you just want to win. It's Dallas. I hate losing to y'all. I live in DC right now. All I see is Cowboy fans everywhere I go. Even people that recognize me from YouTube. Yo, you're Rio. Y'all suck. Like everywhere you go to work, you go home, you get on the train, everybody, they look at me and laugh at my burgundy and go, I don't want to deal with that this week. And even at our lowest lows, if we could get a game off versus y'all, but I don't want to be that guy either that, ooh, we suck, but we still beat y'all. That don't do anything for me. That does not do, that's some
Bro,
moral
that's the
victory.
game. That's the name of the game for us. That's what it's become because we we fell hard from greatness. You know what I'm saying? The early 90s must have been so great for everybody. Now I remember winning Super Bowls and stuff. I remember being a kid stuff, but you don't.
Hell no,
So
I was born into the last Redskins Super Bowl.
exactly. So like we how the mighty have fallen. Now we're really in the conversation with, if you think about it, the Bills who had 90 success. The Lions the Lions had a little bit of 90 success, but we're in the conversation with those guys when we have multiple Super Bowls. Like,
Yeah, that shit is
but
wild.
regardless, We still got to talk our trash. That's just who we are. We can't change
Mhm.
that identity. We can't.
Hell no. And the Bills must have a NFC East voodoo doll somewhere in Buffalo because they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all 4 to the NFC East. Us, the Giants, and y'all got them out of here. I'm not going to sit here and relish off Super Bowls that I didn't witness with my own 2 eyes because I was about 3 months old last time we won a Super Bowl. What do you defend your people? What do you feel about people that sit in 5 rings, 5 rings? What do you feel about people who throw out rings that they did not watch? How do you feel about fans that do that?
Honestly, they're better than the I've been a Cowboys fan since blah 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 people. Dog, I can't stand those Cowboys fans. They are the worst. Because those are the people. Those don't get me started. Those are the people that they don't like when me and you walk into an establishment. I'll just say that from the comment section. Oh, yeah. Though I've been a Cowboys fan since 71, and this, and this. Like the entitlement is crazy.
Them folks.
The 5 rings people don't bother me. I've been a Cowboys fan since people are the thorn in my side. I hate them more than y'all. I block those people on Twitter, bro. I block them.
You know what old head fans get me? The ones who get mad, like they would get mad at me talking to you right now. Like, how are you doing content with a Cowboys fan? What are you friends with Cowboys for? Like, bro, we're people. What you mean? We can't have friends that like other teams. Like somebody with
you buddy.
They're like, Rio, why you be going smack at Cowboy fans? I was like, bro, they women, bro. They don't care what team they like, bro. What you talking about, bro? We all have the right to choose whoever. Like most of us were born in the team. I'm supposed to ostracize a group of people because they like my arch nemesis? No, we can have a friendly banter, hate each other's team, and still kick the shits like this.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You probably run into the same thing that I do. Your worst critics are the same people that cheer your team on.
Yeah,
like I can't stand the Philadelphia Eagles, and we talk the most shit back and forth. But there are some Philadelphia fans that are cool as fuck. We just hate each other's teams. That's just it. It is what it is.
Oh, yeah. And it could be fun, but like, bro, I promise you, we're not going to war, bro. We're not going to fisticuffs, and we're not going to be scrapping over these teams. These teams don't write us paychecks, bro. YouTube may write us checks for the content we make for these teams, but the team don't. We're not fighting over these teams. It's okay to have friendly banter and still break bread with people. And just to divert away from the game before we get back to predictions and stuff, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I want you to power rank your top 3 Thanksgiving foods, could be sides or entrees, and give me your one dish that don't need to come to DMV's table.
Gotcha, bro. Number 1 is macaroni and cheese.
Yes, sir.
Number 2 is the yams with the marshmallows on top. Number 3 is stuffing, bro. Number 3 is stuffing.
What do you feel about the stuffing versus dressing? What's it called debate?
You said the stuffing. It's stuffing to me, bro. It's stuffing to me.
People call it dressing and stuffing. Like it's stuffing to me too, but people
want. I think it's stuffing when it's inside the turkey, right? But it's dressing when it's like not, right?
But like people get very intense over that dish, man. So you got macaroni, the candy yams with the marshmallows, and stuffing.
Yes, those are my 3. And what I don't like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't like collard greens. I can tolerate them. I tolerate them. But no. That's not cool. Brussels sprouts. Keep that shit away from me.
The Brussels sprouts don't belong at the Thanksgiving table. What? You don't hold on. What did collard greens do to you, DMV? That's crazy to me.
They just get in the way. It's kind of like French fries, dog. Like a French fry, they just get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all this stuff right here, like, but for the digestion system, you gotta eat them. You know what I'm saying? And then whoever made the pot, you gotta respect them and you gotta eat it. I'm just saying, I'm not a huge fan of greens. I'll eat them, but
Nikki would be so proud of that food take.
No, she wouldn't. What you mean? She eat like a baby rabbit.
She'd be so proud of you not
That's
liking
probably
the
number
food.
one to her. Oh, I love greens. But no,
Definitely not
she ain't got no
collard
collard greens. Oh,
Yeah.
I love kale greens.
Nikki probably take the greens fresh off of rinsing them out the sink, put them on the plate, and start eating them motherfuckers. Like Bambi.
She probably put like carrots and stuff around her turkey and all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's definitely. Oh no, she don't cook. So she don't do none of that.
I'm gonna demand a Thanksgiving plate picture from Nikki tomorrow. I'm gonna demand her to text me one because I want to know what type of smoothie casserole she's getting off on Thanksgiving.
Probably like cranberry sauce, bro.
Oh my God. And speak of the devil, let's segue into my list. My dish that does not belong on the Thanksgiving table is exactly what DMV just said. Fucking cranberry sauce. I don't know what in the ocean spray fuck cranberry sauce became a part of Thanksgiving dinner. Cranberry sauce belongs in a nice little serving dish as decoration for the table because for whatever reason it fits the holiday aesthetic. Why do people like that shit? That is not good. I like cranberry juice cocktail, cool.
Oh,
what is gelatin cranberry? What the hell does that? Like I was talking to somebody, I was talking to a good friend of mine earlier, and she said, no, you just have to have a clear palate when you eat it. You can't eat anything before it or after it. I said, when you have to do mental and palate gymnastics with the food, it's not good. When you have to psych yourself into eating it.
And it don't mix with nothing good, bro. Like you have to, it don't mix with nothing good. Oh, bro. Yeah. I'm with you on that. You know what else too, bro? I'm probably going to lose my black card on this one, but Chitlins got to fucking go.
Chitlins got to get the fuck. Oh my God.
I don't know what John Henry Kunta Kinte line of why we got to keep that shit going is 2023. I don't know why, but it's still here. Like, maybe somebody in the comment section can explain that to me. But that's a tradition I would love to get rid of, personally.
First of all, don't bring that shit in my house ever. That is the worst smell. It is so rank. I imagine a fresh corpse smells similar to what chitlins smell like. Those are pig intestines. Why are we serving pig intestines on Thanksgiving? It tastes as bad as it smells, too.
Yeah, you ever seen Norbert when they gave him the turkey, the turkey ass? Like pig ass. Here you go. Here's some pig ass for you. That's what it smells like. But
chitlins, definitely. Chitlins and cranberry sauce, throw them in the trash. That is how you serve them on Thanksgiving. You feed the raccoons and the rats at the nearest trash compactor. That's who you serve that to. Top 3. Posted a pic of it earlier. Posted a picture of Magic, Larry Bird, and Jordan at the Olympics and said, my big 3 is baked mac and cheese, holiday glazed hams with the maraschino cherries, the pineapple, the glaze, all that goodness. People say it's a Christmas dish. No, it's also a Thanksgiving dish, and I prefer that over turkey. Turkey's cool, but even when it's fried, I feel like turkey always has a level of dryness to it. But give me macaroni, give me ham, give me yams, and they all need to intersect on the plate. They all need to be bumping uglies on the plate. I'm not a food can't touch person. On Thanksgiving, I want those 3 things and even like a little sliver of collard greens touching them as well. I want them things to
and the dinner roll, though. You got to have the nice little dinner roll, too.
The dinner roll, they just unite like the Avengers, and they make this beautiful combination of yum. I love it. Those are my top 3. And cranberry sauce, chitlins gotta go. Are you a food not touching or a food touching person on Thanksgiving?
I'm a food touching person. That's why when like cranberry sauce, like get the entire fuck out of here. The entire fuck out of here, bro. You don't mix with nothing.
Not a damn thing. I don't understand and when I spoke on cranberry sauce, I took heat. My DMs was looking crazy. Bro, how you don't like cranberry sauce? What do you get out of cranberry sauce? I don't get what it's accomplishing, bro.
That shit came over with the Pilgrims.
They definitely came over with the Indians definitely ain't bring that bullshit. They definitely didn't bring that bullshit to the first Thanksgiving play. That shit was definitely brought by the colonizers. Brought some goddamn cranberries mashed on a plate like we've come with cranberry sauce. that shit terrible, bro. That shit. Have you ever had the turducken?
Not, but I heard it. I heard it's like that, bro. I heard it's
I
like
heard
that.
it slaps on another level. I heard it's really it looks so good when the players are eating it after the Thanksgiving games on the holiday. I had to swing the conversation a little bit. Just we're gonna get back to the game
I
now,
don't
but
know, bro. I don't know because they be looking like they take one bite out of it and they be like, "Yeah, this shit dry as fuck." Cause been sitting here the whole time.
hell yeah. But yeah, back to the game. How
Okay.
do you see this playing out score wise? Because I have a head opinion and I have a heart opinion of how this game's going to play. How do you see this playing out? What are the mood swings you expect? Diagram how tomorrow plays out for the Cowboys.
I think it's gonna be a lot of ugly football because it's a short week, and Thanksgiving is normally that you don't see because they have what maybe 1.5 days to prepare or something like that, and then you got to try and get guys healthy and make sure that you got your roster, and then the game plans are very limited. You're not going to see much different than what you saw from the last Sunday. I think that it'll be ugly, but I think Dallas will be able to score points, and they might get points from special teams or on defense or something. So I think something around like 27 to 13, 27 to 16, something like that.
27-16. Wow. Oyster stuffing? That is exotic. I've never heard of that.
I bet you it's good as hell. I
It
bet you it's good
probably
as hell.
is good as hell, but that sounds exotic as shit. What they serving oyster stuffing on Thanksgiving? That shit sound expensive as a motherfucker. But 27-16. Okay. The typical Washington thing to do tomorrow would be show up and look 1,000 times better than they did versus the sorry ass Giants who own us for whatever reason. We're 0-4 in the division right now. We've already lost 6 games in the conference. You can throw out every hypothetical in the hunt situation. Playoffs is not happening in 2023 for the Commander. But the Washington I know and love would go out and play y'all balls to the wall. Sam Howell goes for 350 plus and keeps up in a shootout. And it would be similar to 2016 Thanksgiving when Kirk threw for 450. Jordan Reed, Deshaun was going crazy, but we could not get y'all off the field. We could not stop y'all. We could not get Dak and company off the field. And that's how we lost that game. That's what Washington conventional wisdom said. I think we're going to get destroyed tomorrow because I think the team's checked out. Ron had the most somber 3 press conferences I've ever seen in the history of press conferences here. He's getting fired Friday, and I think everybody knows it. I think everybody knows a firing is coming as soon as this week. Black Friday is going to be literal in Washington. So I think, and the team, for whatever reason it is, every time we predict them to get blown out, they play a close game. So I'm going to predict a nasty 2021 reminiscent game. You know, when y'all did us like 59 to 14.
On Christmas. It was on Christmas, wasn't it?
It was on Sunday Night Football around Christmas, and I went off that night. That night hurt me so.
It was so ugly.
Y'all beat us so bad. Allen and Payne was fighting on the sidelines, and rumor has it they boxed in the locker rooms, and the team let them spar in the locker room after the game. Rumor has it, urban legend. We'll find out if that was the truth one day. But I'm gonna predict Dallas 55-17 over the Washington Commanders.
Jesus Christ, 55. I don't know where 55 points is coming from.
That's a 38-point victory. I'm going to predict this, trying to reverse psych it that we play better, but I actually think it's going to get like that bad. I don't see how we stop y'all. Tommy DeVito threw for 80 yards against y'all. He threw for 250, 3 tutties, no picks versus us. I don't see how we stop y'all's offense. Y'all, we're the only chance is for Sam Howell to look like an elite quarterback like he did versus the Eagles both times, and that's to play a shootout 41-37 type game. I don't see how y'all score less than 35 points on it. I don't see. We can't stop anything, bro. So it should be around 31-20, 34-24 type game. But I'm going to predict y'all doing the absolute nasty to us because I think winter is coming for Sailboat Ron and company, and it may be coming as soon as Black Friday. How is your dinner hitting tomorrow evening around 7:30 if y'all 55-17, my boys?
I mean, to be honest with you, bro, this is how I feel about Dallas. Dallas still has a lot to prove to me. Beating y'all wouldn't prove what I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to see us take care of Philadelphia. I need to see us take care of Detroit. I need to see us take care of Seattle. I need us to win against teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Because right now, if I'm looking at it and my best win is the Rams, that's not good enough. So how is it going to hit? Probably how it would hit if we were to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to hit the same way. The food going to be good. It's going to be great. But it's not going to be me jumping up for joy. It's just going to be business. And I think that's what you were kind of talking about before as far as the rivalry goes. Oh, I'm still going to talk shit. Trust me.
Oh, you
I still
should.
talk shit to the Giants fans.
As you
And,
should.
and that rivalry ain't what it is because the Giants haven't held up their end of the bargain. But I'm still talk shit. It is
As
what it
you
is.
should. Y'all beat the Giants 89-17 this year. You should definitely talk your shit to those boys. They only scored 17 on y'all. Y'all scored 89 on them, and they swept us.
Especially with them doing that whole graphic of putting Daniel Jones and a little ass Dak. Like, oh yeah, y'all gonna get this rap. Like, hell, y'all ain't getting away with that, bro. Y'all ain't getting
Oh,
away. No.
oh man, this game is going to be very interesting. So if Sam Howell does cook versus your defense tomorrow, what would that say to you about Sam and how good he could be?
It would say that Sam Sam gets up for us. You know what I'm saying? That's what that would tell me. That would tell me that the rivalry means a lot to him. And so um
He's a
maybe that'll
Cowboys fan.
reach
He was a Cowboys fan growing up.
I imagine he was. He looked like it too.
He do look like he was
He,
a Cowboys
he
fan.
looked like he drink Budweiser out the red can.
He, he looked like he looked like a Natty Light guy, like a Natty Light and Cowboys hoodie, same Cowboy. He
He
probably had the jean shorts Flint 13 combo.
he probably go hunting and shit with no shirt on, with a hunting vest. Oh yeah, for sure.
My man Sam. Sam just has New York-itis. His 3 horrible games this year was 2 to the Giants, 1 to the Bills. Something about the state of New York has that man in a fucking chokehold because he's looked like a completely different quarterback versus everybody we played this year, except for the 3 New York team. He's went toe to toe and outplayed Jalen Hurts twice. We just managed to Washington it up and find a way to lose the game. EB always likes to say, we like to find a way to drag our ass across the finish line. Well, Washington drags its ass right up to the finish line and then lets up and lets other teams do it. But tomorrow, I don't see how it happens, but I would love for them to prove me wrong. I would love to sit on Thanksgiving and be entertained. This is Sam Howell's coming out party to the NFL world. The 4:30 spot at Jerry World is one of the most watched games in all of sports every year. Thanksgiving versus NFL Disney. But I asked you this question both times we had the NFC East roundtable. Where does Dallas's season end this year? Which weekend? Which weekend of the postseason? And if you guys take another early exit in the playoffs, is it time to make wholesale changes in Dallas? And if so, what are those wholesale changes? 2 loaded questions. Give it to me.
Okay, I think I said at the time. I think I said it ends in the divisional round again. I think I said that before.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might have said the NFC Championship game.
I
No,
believe you said
no,
the
no.
NFC
I had us
Championship.
winning it all. I think I said the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna stick with that. The reason
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with that is I think Mike McCarthy is starting to understand this offense, and that's what we've needed. We don't need to blow the doors off. Dak threw for less than 200 yards against the Panthers, and we won the game, and we played complimentary to the defense. As long as our defense can continue to get better at the run, which last week it wasn't a great showing. But as long as we can continue to be cohesive there, I think Mike McCarthy's going to call better games in big games. The 49ers wasn't proof of what he can do. But I think in the Eagles game, I think Mike McCarthy called a hell of a game in that game. We should have won that game. They put the ball on the ground 3 times, and we didn't come up with it. Now, just because we should have won it doesn't mean that we won it. We lost it. But I do think we're going to smack them when they come to Dallas. I think they will probably lose maybe one game down the stretch. Maybe. And I think we'll be a 5th seed or something like that. We'll get an NFC South team. And then I think in the playoffs, we'll probably get San Fran. I think we'll take care of them this time. Or if we get Philly, I don't know. But Philadelphia is tricky, though, man, because we know that the NFL wants them to go to the Super Bowl, bro. We know that. They battle the Swifties, bro. Battle the Swifties.
They definitely want the Swift Kelsey brothers in it. But at the same time, y'all are still the biggest brand of the league. And I'm pretty sure the league would also like to nudge you guys as punk asses in the big game at once. I'm probably sure
there's money in us failing, though, bro. There's money in us failing.
It is. And what would need to happen to force wholesale changes in Dallas?
I think we would have to collapse down the stretch. I think that would have to force it because Jerry and them, they get paid off of us failing too because they just like them being able to draft and run things the way they want, them having a chance in the dance is enough for them. And you'll hear Jerry often say that. You'll hear Steven say that because they feel like 8-8 is a success because that's what the salary cap was built on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, y'all. Cap boy.
It would have to take a total collapse and the fans hitting them in the pockets for wholesale changes to happen.
Okay, so I'm gonna paint you a scenario, and this would not force wholesale changes in Dallas. Y'all get to the first round and lose to Derek Carr in the New Orleans Saints in the first round.
That shit ain't happening. That ain't happening. But yeah, I feel.
Well, let's just say y'all take a first round exit, or no, first round exit in the playoff. What needs to happen after that for y'all?
I don't want to fire McCarthy, but I think it depends on what the game looks like. Does the defense give up a whole bunch of points and it's not the offense, or does the offense not show up again? Because see, Dak has them by the balls right now because they owe him $59 million next year unless they restructure. So Dak ain't going nowhere unless Dak requests a trade or something like that.
And he's not going to do that. That's not.
He's not going to do that. They wouldn't fire McCarthy. I think that Dan Quinn would probably be gone more than likely, or he would get a head coaching job or something like that.
He gets. I think he might get a head coaching job this offseason.
Yeah, I think they like what they're getting. Although our draft class isn't doing too great this year, they like being able to develop a Marquise Bell, a Wanye Thomas, Deron Bland. You know what I'm saying? Like guys that are cheap for them that they don't gotta pay. So technically, from a business standpoint, they care about business before they care about winning.
Yep, standing on business, the Jones way is how the Jones do it.
I think it would take us not making the playoffs. That's what I think. But I don't know if I see that because the NFL is so bad.
And the NFC sucks.
The whole NFL sucks, bro.
Yeah,
the whole NFL sucks. Think about the Bills. Look at the Bills right now. The Bills are supposed to be a class team right now.
Ass.
And they play like ass even when they win. Look at the Bengals, even though Joe Burrow's out. Even with Joe Burrow, they 1 week they're good, 1 week they're terrible. That's the AFC over there. Kansas City ain't playing good ball right now, for real. If we're being honest,
nobody's really looks like a substantial like overdog this year. They don't look like they're like a clear juggernaut in the league this year.
Yeah, unless San Francisco has Trent, they are.
Yeah,
they are. When they don't have Trent, they ass. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's playing good football right now. So a lot of people have some things to prove after Thanksgiving. As
Hell,
Tom Brady said, that's when the real football starts kicking off.
hell yeah. And I was loving when Brady was talking about how mediocre the league is right now. Like I
Oh,
was
it
listening.
surely is. It's because they
Yeah,
don't practice no more, bro. They
yep. And
don't practice no more.
he was talking about the lack of development of young players. Dan Quinn to the Commanders. No, sir. I like Dan Quinn as a coach. I would like him as a defensive coordinator, but he's not coming over to DC. I do not believe in today and age signing a defensive head coach. You need to marry your head coach to the quarterback, unless you have a very.
D'Amico doing some things in Houston.
I love it. I love it. And you know what
He young though. He young, so that's what
You
you
know
gonna
what
say.
Stroud's going to lose this offseason? His offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. Someone's going to hire him to be a head coach, and they're going to be running that recycled,
I
reshuffled.
got you.
Yep.
Now that makes a lot of sense, bro. I didn't even think about it that way. When you lose your offensive coordinator, you lose that relationship with your quarterback, and somebody coming in, they might, like for example, look at Philadelphia. They lost their offensive coordinator. I don't think Jalen has looked as good.
Yep. He hasn't looked as good, and
And he's
that
hurt.
matters. And Steichen's clearly good because he's making caviar out of bullshit in Indianapolis with Gardner Minshew this year. They're making things happen, but that matters. That's why I say you have to hire an offensive minded coach. I don't want to. There's two things that can happen when you hire a defensive minded coach. If the OC sucks, he gets fired. If he's great, he gets poached and he gets hired by another team. Marry your quarterback to a younger offensive minded coach. As soon as the firing happens, you're going to see me talking about who I want to get the job. Don't need to go into details about all of that yet. Before I let my guy DMV sign off for tonight, get ready for a big day of eating, probably on and off the field for DMV and his boys tomorrow. Would you have any interest, since he cleared waivers, of signing cooked Shaq Leonard?
Man, I'm watching the tape right now, and I'm actually doing a study on it. Actually, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to publish it or not. I haven't done the voiceovers, but I've done the clips. He shows signs of greatness. Like I watched like the clips that I got week 10, week 9, so his last two games, and then I went to week 1 to see him with fresher legs, but he don't look like he can run no more.
Yeah,
He looked like just a guy out there, in
that,
my
that,
opinion,
that's back
from what I
surgery
say.
shit cooked him, man. He just looks like a shell of who he was 3 years ago.
Exactly. So for me, I know there are a lot of Cowboy fans that want him. I think in my mind, from what I see, I really just see I really just kind of see a bigger name, Jalen Smith, a guy that's kind of that can't really get off of second level blocks from the lineman. A guy who doesn't really necessarily. I don't know if if he doesn't trust his eyes or his back and his body can't get to where he wants to get to. I see a guy that jumps on piles. I see a guy in space that is.
Food.
If Zeke is shaking you out your boots in the open field, bro, you ain't got it.
Yep.
Zeke is shaking. I got clips, 2 clips of screen passes where Zeke makes him miss in open space, like Zeke is in 2016.
Yep. And to my guy who just asked me that's why I brought up the question. Shout out to
Yeah,
Will asking me about Shaq Leonard. Off name recognition, fans are going to immediately say, you got to go sign this guy. There's a reason he went unclaimed, because the shell that he is currently of himself is not who he used to be. He was still being paid handsomely, like one of the premier linebackers in the league. You don't have to do that now. He went unclaimed in waivers. You can sign him as a free agent for a much lower and friendlier cap number. Even being cooked, he would be our best linebacker because our linebacker room is trash. But I'm glad you said Jalen Smith, because that's exactly the situation this is. That nerve fusion injury Jalen Smith had never looked the same explosively again. He looked stiff, and you could shake him out of his shoes. Like, it's not even funny. He's not who he used to be. I love prime Darius Leonard, before he was Shaq Leonard. When he was Darius Leonard, he was a dog. He was the best linebacker
yeah.
in the sport. He's not that guy present day 2023, but he works perfectly on a team that is in title contention that does not demand for him to be the guy or be great. He will drop right in as an addition on a good team, and it would make sense. Someone like the Philadelphia Eagles or y'all.
I mean, it would make sense for us. I just don't want people to have that idea that he's the one that's going to take us over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be disappointed if that's what you think he's going to be. But then again, I do have questions because, like I said, I see flashes. So did Indy just use him poorly, or was he just playing uninspired football? Because all of a sudden, Randy Gregory, you put him in the 49ers jersey, he's playing inspired football.
Balling. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I have those questions. If he can bring him in for a workout and he looks good, I trust Dan Quinn enough that if Dan Quinn says sign him, cool. If not, we still got Rashaan Evans that we just got, and I thought Rashaan Evans's recent tape looked better than Shaq Leonard's tape did.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And when the hell did they start calling him Shaq Leonard? I knew him as Darius Leonard the whole time. I'm like, hey, would you like to get Shaq Leonard? I'm like, who the hell is that?
Shaq Leonard? Like 2 years ago, he made like a public announcement. I would like to go by Shaq Leonard.
He ain't been playing. He ain't been playing good since.
Exactly.
Go look,
the rebrand.
Go look at his PFF numbers, and I'm not a huge PFF guy, but you see the big drop off around 2019 or something like that.
Yeah, you're good. Everybody gets mixed up with Rio and Rico. I get the name thing. Don't worry about that. But yeah, Shaq Leonard, ever since he rebranded, he hasn't looked the same. And that matters, bro. That really does matter. All of a sudden, you Shaq out of nowhere. It's like when guys who have abbreviated names come out of nowhere and be like, no, I'd like you to call me Demetrius now instead of D. It'd be like if DK Metcalf next year was like, no, I want you guys to call me DeKalen going forward. My name is DeKalen Metcalf. I want to be called DeKalen. Like, why? What are we doing that for? Like, out of nowhere. Like we already know you as this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's super strange. But if you want to make any closing statements about this game tomorrow, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I'm gonna chop it up with my crowd on the solo tip for a little bit, and we're gonna get out of here for the night.
Well, I really hope Washington lets us, beat their ass tomorrow. I would love that so much. And then I hope that y'all catch fire later on so that the game and FedEx means something. You know what I'm saying? So we can come out there, we can do the tailgate thing, and it'd be a party like it was. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think that we've had a meaningful game here in a long time.
We ain't been meaningful. We ain't been meaningful in ever. We ain't been meaningful once since Ron took over here, but maybe it'll mean something for y'all. Maybe y'all are clinching a certain spot. Maybe Philly falters a little bit. Y'all playing for the division, kind of like last year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but hopefully y'all fire Ron, and then EB, like, y'all win a couple games in a row, because the NFC, like you said, is trash.
I don't want that. No.
And eight wins might get you the damn 7th seed.
I don't want the 7th seed at this point. As much as I want to see Sam Howell play in the playoffs this year and get that playoff experience, I don't want to hear shit about no 7th seed. I don't want to hear shit about no wild card. I don't even want to see us in no goddamn in the hunt graphic. I'm done with the in the hunt graphic this year. Our season starts January 8th, 2024, when we can get the GM and head coaching search started.
But with as bad as the NFC North is, as bad as the NFC South is, you're gonna be in the hunt, bro.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Don't want it. Keep that shit, man. Keep that shit. We're not a playoff football team. No, you don't tell me a team that let the Bears score 40 on them and let the Giants sweep you with their second and third string quarterback belongs.
I got some bad losses, dog. God.
They come as bad as they. We already have 6 losses in the conference. We're 0-4 in the division. Tomorrow could be 0-5 in the division, staring 0-6 in the face in year 4 of Rivera.
Yeah, y'all got to fire him, dog. It is what it is. Y'all got to fire him. Y'all got to fire him.
Hell yeah, but I appreciate you for stopping by the program tonight. We're going to get the NFC East Roundtable Holiday Edition going in December sometime. Let folks know where to find you, and I'm going to let you check up out of here for the night.
Yeah, man, y'all can find me at DMV Fanatic on YouTube. I actually did a video today too, recapping, doing a film study. So me and Rio, we kind of talked about some of that stuff, but you'll get a chance to see it with with the film and stuff laid out. So, go check that out. And then on Twitter, I'm DMV Fanatic 1. So yeah, add me on there as well. We talk a lot of trash. Rio's my guy, so you'll see us attached a lot of the time.
Hell yeah. And if we for somehow pop up and beat them, make sure y'all spam his comments and spam him on Twitter and get y'all shit off because we ain't got no business beating the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the stream up because I think we covered every angle of this game. We know what Dak is. We know what Sam Howell, or we're still trying to get a read on what Sam Howell is. Our only shot tomorrow is if he goes berserk versus Philly mode on Dallas. He has a closer game than I do. I hope it ain't 55-17, but it might get real ugly, and it might need to make Josh Harris finally force his hand. That's all I got for right now. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We will hope for the best. We'll cross our fingers, and we'll see how Thanksgiving plays out. Y'all have a happy and beautiful holiday with your families. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Until next time, Rio out.